Hello, and welcome to Nobody Gets That Reference. It's Thermal and
I'm Fizzy.
once more doing some Drop Zone this time and just, having a little fun talking about achievements, some general trivia, what we think of Drop Zone overall, and just, got some more commentary coming at you. So, Fizzy, Drop Zone. It's a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a mode.
Drop zone.
I think it's okay.
and kill streak
I have
drops
some
your team.
complaints, but I want to hear what you think about it.
Oh, I absolutely love it. For one thing, great time to use a riot shield. Just wonderful. And another, it's really, you can get the good kill streaks quite easily. I find in normal play, even getting many care packages, I never get something like an AC-130. But here, that just comes naturally, so
Capture the
that's
objective.
fun.
Yeah, no, do
This is
you
ours.
find that the longer you stay in the drop zone, the better the care packages become? Like,
Um,
I'll often come late to the party and grab the last couple care packages after a team leaves, and that's when I'll usually get the gunship.
I don't think so. I think it is truly a
I
random.
think it's just like RNG.
Yeah. And
Enemy has captured the DC. We've captured
what's
the
there to say
DC.
about drop zone? I mean, it's essentially just hard point, but you get kill streaks from being on the hard point.
DC contested.
It's really good to also get C4 kills if you're going for that, or a challenge, or whatever.
Anything with, like, multiple explosive equipment.
Yeah.
I think you and I have both found, though, that it
Friendly
goes a
shield turret
little too
deployed.
quickly.
Get ready
Like,
to move
most
to the
of the
next
matches end because of a timer, and it's sort of not in,
Enemy captured the DC.
what should I say? They sort of end because they end running out of time, not running out of score.
Yeah.
And I almost wish the matches were just dictated on score, because I feel like they're like 10 or 12 minutes each,
Yeah.
which is pretty long for a match.
I think a strong argument could be made for that. I mean, you have domination, which I've always particularly loved, how it's just based on score, and if I ever need to get a bunch of kills in one match, I'll usually go for domination. I guess the issue is in something like domination, the match is essentially guaranteed to not be endless because there's no real situation where someone isn't scored. Once you get a single flag, the score's going up for at least one person, no matter what.
Allied
But that's not so much.
10 seconds. Get ready.
It's not so much the case, and that's
Contested.
Yeah, if you don't cap the point, theoretically it could stay for quite a while.
New drop
I
zone
don't know.
marked.
I think it's good. I think there are a couple major changes that I would make. Are there any major changes that you would mind?
Enemy sentry gun active.
I would disable white phosphorus as a kill
Drop
streak.
the lead.
I mean, keep it in the game, of course, but don't have it care package drop in drop zone, just because it's kind of I mean, it really helps press the advantage. I think that's one thing that is hard about drop zone, especially compared to other modes, is it's really easy for one team to just get all the momentum and then continuously win without giving the other team a chance. In say some in certain team mode, you want to bring a rocket launcher.
10 seconds. Get ready.
Sitting there, you wouldn't be shooting down an AC-130 with an RPG. This isn't Operation Kingfish Find Mackerel. Am I the only person who noticed that and was like, wow, I got shot down an AC-130 with an RPG? That's kind of impressive.
I think it's funny that they're sort of they're officially Infinity Ward sanctioned.
Control the DC.
Call of Duty sort of Modern Warfare 2, the original one, like the promo video kind of thing, but at the same time, they have nothing to do other than the beginning, and like some of the stuff, the video itself has absolutely nothing to do with the campaign. It's a great little short. It's on YouTube. You should definitely watch it.
Enemy has taken
Operation
It has to do with the
Kingfish.
campaign. It shows why Price was in the Gulag.
friendly beetle.
The great unanswered question.
But like, no, Price was in the gulag because of what happened at the end of Modern Warfare on the bridge.
Where he gets rescued by Kamarov?
Yeah, but then he's declared dead, and then
I
he's
don't
not
recall
actually
that
dead.
ever happening.
They're doing chest compressions. Shout out to Dr. Mike. Doing chest compressions. And he's not coming back to life.
it's okay.
I don't know.
Compromise.
I mean,
I agree with you about the white phosphorus. I think, especially as you can see here, it really distorts the map. It brings to life this sort of thing that I was realizing, which is, as a player, it's the most annoying thing when there's a kill streak that you can't defeat. Like, chopper gunner, those are annoying. Support helo, those are annoying. Harrier, those are annoying. But you can shoot them all down, you can take perks to avoid them, other stuff like that. Willie Pete, there's no perks that will have you avoid the white phosphorus, and it's not something you can shoot down on its way in or on its way out. It's kind of, I don't know if we sort of were able to scientifically figure out whether or not you could shoot down a gunship. I don't think it's possible, but...
well, I mean, we do have the working theory that you don't so much shoot it down as if you hit it with if you successfully hit it enough times that all the flares are gone and then you hit it again. But that also just might be a matter of time. It really is. But it has felt like we've cut the life of a gunship short on some occasions.
I think next time we play Drop Zone, we should definitely time it, because gunship sticks around for 30 seconds. So if it sort of happens earlier than 30 seconds, then we know that, okay, something's going on and we were able to successfully stop it. If not, then sort of, then we know that, okay, so it's not. I think, ultimately, it would be a more fun game, at least for me, if they took out the kill streaks that the player cannot themselves defeat. Those being the white phosphorus. I don't know where I stand on the Juggernaut. Yeah,
it's hard, but...
I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. And I do think maybe they just take the gunship only because it seems to me that it's really kind of undefeatable. I half agree with you. Half agree with you about whether or not it can be shot down. But I think ultimately it sort of gives you that feeling as a player of, well, there's nothing I can do but just keep getting killed. And that's not a feeling any
run for
designer wants. Yeah,
that's the idea, and something certainly to acknowledge is a lot of these unkillable kill streaks, the white phosphorus, the Juggernaut, the gunship, they're not things that are easy to get. So if anything, I don't think that's necessarily a problem with the kill streaks themselves. I see it as more of an eventuality when playing Drop Zone, that there will higher end kill streaks that are supposed to be rewards. These extremely long runs of kills without deaths that are impressive. They're just become so much easier to get, and it's random. I mean, I'm always annoyed when, like, the worst thing I think in a game of Drop Zone is when, like, your enemy's getting juggernauts, gunships, things like that, and then you go and you capture 3 care packages, and you got 2 counter UAVs and personal radar. Like, that's the worst. And that can happen.
I agree. I think it's definitely RNG. I would agree with the care packages, and maybe it would be slightly better if that changed. Like, for example, if okay, you know, the drop zone remains for 30 seconds in a place, the sooner you capture it, or the longer that you have holding it, the better care packages would drop. So if you can hold it for 20-25 seconds unencumbered, then you get the gunship, then you get the Juggernaut. I know we're complaining about white phosphorus and then I use it, but
it's great to use.
Yeah, it's great to use, but you really hate
the region that is made unusable by it. Really makes it perfect for the objective game that can make really any other kill streak that matches it in utility. I mean, maybe the VTOL, because you can have it guard specifically. VTOLs themselves. I mean, I used to find VTOLs to be the worst. Then I started equipping the rocket. Not that hard.
Get ready to move to the next location.
I wish this game had its own version of something like the Micro or the China Lake, or like a grenade launcher. I think that would be most effective. I find that an RPG is great at taking down a scarier, especially if you can get it when it's not moving, because then you don't have the your first 2 rockets just get hit by the players. You know, because they have direct fire, but you have to die once to be able to take it down. And it requires 3 RPGs.
Well, you can do 2 RPG rounds.
Yeah.
I think, have you ever tried the Shrella against it?
Well done.
No, I haven't.
Because the Shrella really strikes me as
sure it would work because it's designed. The Strela is designed to have low damage against shit.
I thought it was designed to have high damage. I always imagined it was sort of the anti-material, the one that didn't have a huge area of effect, but that would really damage anything.
Well, according to the promo and according to some experience I've had, it's great against armored vehicles, but not against air. I shot one at a Pavlo. It did basically nothing. Like, it still required an additional 2 RPGs and 50 or 60 rounds of AK ammo.
Pavlos are mean bastards.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to test it with the Carl Gustav. I will have to do that.
Yeah.
But so I think ultimately to wrap up about Drop Zone a little bit, it's a great mode. It's very hectic. It's great if you aren't someone who can really get those super high-end kill streaks, but you still want the ability to play around with them. Like, it's a great way to become a juggernaut and experiment and try out the white phosphorus or the gunship if those are things that you're not getting in regular gameplay. But you have to be prepared for the consequences, which is that the other people are going to get them too.
Yeah. I think another thing I'd like to point out about Drop Zone, lastly, is that I think in terms of certain challenges it can be useful because it's honestly very predictable where the enemies are going to be. And that can be helpful in a lot of ways.
And I haven't seen it on a big-ish map. You? Like, I've never seen it on something like Anaya or...
I think the biggest I've done is Rosna Raid. I think I had 1 or 2 that... Yeah, we had one that was Grozna Raid. Had it a few times, I think.
We're back.
Okay. I mean, I think Grozna is still technically a medium-sized map, but I don't know.
You can do 10v10 on Grozna. I think it comes up in the playlist. Well, I mean, we also said that we were going to talk about achievements.
Yes, so we shall talk about achievements. Achievements. To some people, they're, you know, whatever, nothing, I don't care. To some people, it's, I can't play a new game until I've gotten 1,000 out of 1,000, or that's actually
Platinum.
Or platinum. That's our
we are the 2 of us are both converts from Microsoft to Sony, so we get our terminology a little crossed sometimes.
I spent most of my formidable gaming youth playing the oh so sweet Xbox 360. So I'm used to the 1,000 out of 1,000 gamer score for getting all the achievements in games. So are there any games that you have on any system, 1,000 out of 1,000?
Gosh. I mean, sometimes it's kind of hard to measure because there's no is the straight answer. I'm trying to think what the closest is. The closest might honestly be, this is, you know, kind of, I would say, surprising considering just the amount of time, but I think the closest I've ever gotten is Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, where I'm certainly less than 10 away from having all of them at this point.
Nice.
And
that's a really good achievement.
I mean, that's went straight through the veteran campaign. Essentially any miscellaneous achievement I knew was there, I tried to get as I went along in my first playthrough. Then I've gone back and done others. At this point, it's like 3 weird ones and Intel.
Yeah, I 1,000 out of 1,000, the original Modern Warfare 2. I came very close to 1,000 out of 1,000ing Halo 3 ODST, which, by the way, for fans and maybe people who don't know, it is coming very soon as a DLC addition to the Master Chief Collection available on Steam.
Oh.
So if you're like, man, I love ODST and I just can't play it anymore because I don't have a system, but you got a PC, great news. You can play it on that. I'm also pretty sure it's part of... So PlayStation has PS Now, which is all the old PS3 and PS2 games that you can then play. Xbox has a similar thing. I have no idea what it's called, but I'm fairly certain ODST is available on that. It's a great game. It's probably, for those of you who haven't played it, it's Halo Noir. And it's really the only open world example in the series that I can think of. But so I came very close to 1,000 out of 1,000 for that. The thing I had remaining was Intel. Yeah, there was some Intel that I hadn't recovered. But other than that, there was like 2 achievements related to that, and 1 more that was a mission specific challenges, which were you think stuff in this game is like, oh, it's a challenge, get 15 kills without dying. Like challenges in the challenges like play through ONI base without taking damage.
Yeah.
That's a challenge.
Well, there is an achievement in Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, which is play every level without without dying or reloading any checkpoints. Which, I mean, to me, I think the hardest thing about that in terms of getting it is going to be tracking it.
Yeah. I think on like Recruit that wouldn't be too awful. I can think of some sections that would be pretty bad.
My Intel runs, I do Recruit, and that's just, and it's, you can just basically run through the mission.
I could see you getting getting stuck on something like the only easy day was today. Especially because the first couple times you breach, you just screw that up. But,
never get stuck on my favorite mission. I'm joking.
No, it's fine. Yeah,
For the record, that is my favorite mission, if it ever comes up again.
For the record, not your favorite mission. Because that's the training mission. So nobody.
That's not the training mission. That's what it says. That's what it says. Stuck on the menu, like the current mission, at least on the old version in the menu. If you completed the game and you hadn't restarted anything.
Oh, okay. But yeah. I think achievements are great because they're sort of a way for people to kind of catalog and show off progress or special things they've made or whatever. Sort of however they've played the game. If they've done it a specific way and they want to show someone and they don't have like a screen cap or whatever, it's really nice. But I also understand why people think that they're kind of unnecessary, they're needlessly hard, or they're just overly stupid. I played the Lost game. Have you ever played that? Oh boy, that's a blast in the past. Now, let's see if Lost via Domus. I have the disc somewhere.
Oh man.
We'll have to see if we can hook one of the old 360s up and get some gameplay of that. I'm sure you guys would love to see
Tales from the Crypt, we could call it.
Sure, you guys would love to see bad gameplay from like a 14-year-old game. I'm sure that's what people want, Tell us in the comments if you've ever heard of Los Viadamos, if you want us to play it. If you'd rather
you got every achievement.
Yeah, I mean, if you played through the game once and did okay, you probably got every achievement. I mean, heck, if 100 people comment on this about Los Viadamos, then I will just go eat our copy.
You really
I know.
Promise yourself to that?
Yeah, because 100 people ain't gonna comment on this video.
Well, there might not be many people watching now, but perhaps one day, and then perhaps they're gonna comment on this.
If the comments don't come before May 1st, 2020, 100 comments, I will eat that CD-ROM. It'll be gross, but I will do it.
Hurry up now, all 3 of our current viewers.
3. Great. So, yeah, achievements. The only real bone I have to pick is, I think sometimes when it's like an achievement and they'll be like, this achievement's a secret, I'll unlock it to learn more about it. It's like, come on, just tell me about the achievement and how I can get it, because otherwise that's really, GTA has so many of those. GTA 5
Oh yeah.
has probably 40 or 50, like, this achievement's a secret. Unlock it to
Well-
find more. But it's like, how am I going to unlock it if you don't tell me how to unlock it?
The best video game of all time, Skyrim, at least the PS4 version, has no secret achievements, I think. So,
Best video game
There.
of all time.
yeah.
All time.
I don't think we should get into
I was
that
just-
in
I
this
was gonna say,
video.
you're making that claim now
Yes.
in like this generation.
I'm making that claim now in this generation.
barely 30 years removed from like the genesis of modern video games. Nice Juggernaut suit, by the way.
Well, I can't predict the future, but best video game until Control 6. This section of the game, I remember, even though I had the Juggernaut suit, I did not last very long with it because they kept pounding me with Wheelsons and the like. I don't know. What's the proudest achievement you've ever gotten?
Ooh, proudest achievement. I don't know. I really liked. I had Star 69 on Modern Warfare 2, which was to finish all the special ops on veterans, and I was proud of that. That was really, that took a lot of effort and that took a lot of time. Proud? I don't know. I know you have a very specific
Oh,
one that
yes.
you just got very recently.
Yes, very recently I got the Civ 6 achievement on the Origin of Species, which is just it's just like a weird miscellaneous Civ 6 achievement, which I think Civ 6 certainly has the market cornered on like weird miscellaneous achievements, but it's kind of weird to bring this up in a gaming video, but huge fan of Charles Darwin here. Definitely my top 5 scientists. And Thermal will tell you that, yes, I certainly have top 5 favorite scientists, and Darwin's really up there.
Comment down below if you want us to make a video of Fizz's top 5 favorite scientists, because we will do it.
Oh yeah. I might do it. If you don't comment, I might just do it anyway. But please comment. Anyways, so on the Origin of Species is an achievement you get for activating Charles Darwin's great person ability next to the Galapagos Islands, which it's just delightful, you know?
Yeah.
It's really Finch-tastic. Get it? Get it? Get it? Get it?
Alright, folks, thanks for listening. I think that's the end. No. Yeah, okay, so this doesn't count as an achievement, but in the original Age of Empires, there was a challenge that was to beat a player within the first 10 minutes of the game starting, and beat him by the only way you could in the original Age of Empires. Shout out to anyone who's played it. The remastered is awesome. And the only way you could beat people in that game was no diplomacy, no nothing. You just had to destroy them. And you didn't have to, it wasn't like, oh, you destroy a town center, you win. You had to defeat every unit, because every unit could start a new town center and basically reform their civilization. So you had to completely wipe them off the map. And I remember we were doing a LAN party. God, if anyone did LAN parties on Age of Empires, man, I'm sounding old today. If anyone did that, then you know how fun it was, and you know sort of the awesome experiences you can get up to with your friends. Anyway, I managed to defeat a fellow player at the LAN party in 9 minutes and 43 seconds from start to finish the game, and I got the challenge. And I'm pretty proud of that, because it took planning, it took effort, a lot of directing focus. I ended up actually winning overall defeating all the other empires in that particular game. Yeah, so that's definitely sort of probably my proudest moment in gaming. I really liked that I was able to do that. Sort of a cool thing, especially because I wasn't at that time I didn't really consider myself a gamer. I was very casual. I think I had a console back then. I guess I owned a console because I played with.
The enemy captured the DZ. DZ
What are
secured.
we gonna call him? Let's call him the Fonz. I played with the Fonz, and that was he was a great guy to play with. Bought a console and a Steam. But anyway, that's another video and/or just ancient history, and I'm just reminiscing. So, achievements. What achieve? What do you think is going to be sort of the future of
Enemy
maybe
has taken the
achievements or
DZ.
trophies in the way. They seem to be getting much gamer score and sort of trophy score and all that. Your trophy room seems to be getting much less important. It seems in the same way that there are no like in-person avatars
Get
anymore
ready to move to the next location.
online. Those are sort of, we're moving away from sort of the cutesy personalization. Do you think that eventually achievements will just be nixed because people will be like, we don't really the characters?
Well, I think what we're seeing a lot is we're seeing a lot
The
of.
DZ, hold it.
Enemy at the train track.
I think the reason personalization is focused on the consoles themselves is personalization is being focused on a lot more
DZ contested.
by the actual games. Like, there's so much in games designed for online for personalization, and so much challenges, all things designed to keep you going.
DZ compromised.
So I think that's just really something people aren't paying as much attention to. If you think of the missions and challenges in this, those are basically like achievements, but you get in-game stuff for them. So they're better than achievements.
Cruise missile away. DZ compromised.
I think that's the future. I don't think it'll be something that you can open your console menu and find. I think it'll be
Get ready to move to the next
games just
location.
having more and more challenges within game rewards.
I think it'll be much more like the sort of the Gun Runner's Arsenal challenge.
DZ contested.
New Vegas, they gave you XP. Or in this, how the challenges will give you new emblems and tags. I know you're super emblem. I don't care at all.
Enemy
I
UAV
should, but I
overhead.
don't.
Drop zone secure.
So it'll definitely become more in-game individual personalization rather than
Be advised, friendly light phosphorus
look
inbound.
at my cool like PlayStation avatar. I spent 2 hours specifically designing
Enemy
my
is
face.
Enemy on the wood.
I think I can agree with that. Although I don't know. I mean, you had something like you had things like VR, and for a while people thought, oh, with VR we're gonna have people are gonna take customization to the next level. You're gonna be able to take VR and like scan yourself, and put yourself in VR games. That's gonna be the new thing.
Who
Like,
wants to play as yourself in a video game?
well, like the main attraction people are saying is like horror games. So it could be like, I can play through whatever the next Silent Hill turns out to be. Silent Hill. Whatever the next
Got a personal radar drone ready for escort.
Kojima design horror franchise
Enemy has taken
is
the
determines
DZ.
to be on VR.
Precision
Or
airstrike
something
available.
like,
On your mark.
I know Half-Life Alyx, the new Half-Life game, for a minute, I'm fairly certain the developers were playing around with having you scan yourself in and you were the protagonist of the game.
Friendly
It's
shield
completely in VR. I haven't played it, but I've heard
DZ
maybe
secured.
if we get a VR setup, we'll do a video on that. I don't know. But, so I think you're right. I think in-game personalization is definitely going to become the norm.
Get ready to move to the next
People are
location.
going to move further and further away from console personalization.
And I think, well, I think we've covered achievements quite well here. And I know you made me prepare the questions ahead of time, so I figured we should get on to the trivia portion. We're going to do something a little new, and we've prepared 10 trivia questions for each other, and we're going to ask them. I think we should do back and forth. You know, I ask you one, you ask me one. And we're going to answer them, but we'd like to know if you get them in the comments, if you get them before we do, or if you got any that we didn't.
Friendly Wilson on station.
Let us know how many of these trivia questions you happen to know. Mine are mostly TVs, movie, gaming, all that kind of stuff. Just sort of interesting topics in general, and I think you kind of went the same route.
Yeah, mine's all pop culture except for my one U.S. cabinet position question.
Good to
I
go.
see. Well, feel free to start with whatever you want.
Okay, so I'll start with my first one.
Get ready to move
What
to the
was the
next
first
location.
James Bond movie not based on a book?
First James Bond movie not based on.
Directed.
Are you counting official or unofficial?
New location.
Official.
confirmed.
Okay.
Let's not never say never again.
Good hit.
That's what I'll say.
No, I was gonna say
Drop zone secure.
Thunderball.
No.
So Thunderball was.
Yes.
What is the answer?
The answer is GoldenEye,
Good luck,
which,
guys.
fun fact, was actually named after Ian Fleming's
Friendly
estate.
advanced UAV marking.
Yeah, I knew
Friendly
it was named
UAV
after Ian Fleming's
Friendly
estate.
shield
but
turret deployed.
That's interesting. Cool. That's really
Easy
cool.
contested.
How does that rank in your listing?
Honestly, and this might be another one of my
Friendly
classic
position here.
controversial
10
opinions,
seconds. Stand by to roll out.
it might be
Easy
my least
compromise.
favorite. Not even my favorite Brosnan movie. I think a lot of people it as the best of the Brosnan era and maybe the only good one. I really don't like it. I think it's really kind of stupid and a bit cheesy. And kind of like a lot of the dumb stuff of the Brosnan era, like the ridiculousness, over-the-topness that wasn't good, and a lot of also the classic things that annoy me about Bond movies as a whole. Like rampant sexism.
No, I get that. And your favorite Bond is who?
Oh, my favorite Bond is Roger Moore.
Which is somewhat of a, I think, unconventional. I mean, you're not saying George Lazenby, but like, I think Roger Moore is definitely an unconventional answer. All right, so speaking of Kevin Roberts, and by that I mean Larry David. Larry David was an SNL writer as well. What year did he write for with the show, and how many sketches did he write?
Easy compromise.
So what year?
Got zone ID.
Sounds like it's just 1 year.
Sentry guns down.
He wasn't a writer for very long.
Easy contested.
He was a writer for 1 year.
Enemy has taken
What was
the
that?
DZ.
And because I asked you for number of sketches, you can probably assume it's a measurable number.
Yes.
It's not like he wrote 150 sketches.
Friendly counter
Yes.
UAV active.
I'm going to go with 12 sketches in 1997.
Okay, well, so it was, he wrote one sketch,
Oh,
and it aired at the very end of an episode, and it was 1 year, 1975.
DZ's ours.
He has said he wasn't a good SNL writer, mostly because his ideas were much more sort of the foundation of something like Curb, or just like Larry David in general, like sort of that kind of loser, you know, I'm a loser, that's kind of my life, and whatever kind of comedy that didn't really gel well with the rest of the cast. Also, Lorne did not like him at all.
it's really determiner of how long you're on SNL.
If Lorne doesn't like you, you're gone.
And if Lorne likes you, you can be as bad as you want.
If Lorne likes you, you go with him to Jamaica for Christmas break. Pete Davidson.
Well, if I ever get chosen as host of SNL, we're making this video private.
Definitely. We're gonna unlist this video.
Yeah. Okay, so my next question. Which two original comic book members of the Avengers were not founding members in the MCU?
Comic book members that were founding members in the original, but are not in the MCU.
Yes.
So, I'm guessing that Doctor Strange.
Nope. He was a founding member of the Avengers.
Get to the UDZ.
But then my other guess was going to be way off too. I was going to say Doctor Strange, and then probably Adam Warlock, or the Silver Surfer.
I don't think neither Silver Surfer nor Adam Warlock existed during when the. Sorry if that sounds.
No, when were the Avengers founded?
It was the 60s, and I'll give you another last hint. This is a duo of sorts.
Oh, well then, Black Widow and Hawkeye.
They were founding members in the movie. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
I clearly
Sorry.
don't really understand
Yes.
this question. So what is the answer?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man.
They were two
Okay.
founding members of the Avengers in the original comics, which were Ant-Man and the Wasp, Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor. Captain America was later thought out by them. Black Widow and Hawkeye didn't join for until much later, but they were founding members in the comics and not in the movies because they weren't really that popular at that time when the movies came out.
I see. Who is the only confirmed character in Elder Scrolls 6, which may be called Elder Scrolls Redfall, but that name is not confirmed?
Let's see.
It's the only confirmed character. This was a bit of a sort of a meme, like a pop culture moment. about a year and a half back.
Well, I seem to have missed that. My guess is it's some eternal deity. But
Complete opposite direction.
complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
So, huh? Wow.
If you don't remember the story outright, it's not going to be something you're going to be able to guess.
Okay, then I'm not going to be able to guess it.
So, it's Skyrim Grandma. It's about Shelby something. I don't remember her last name. Who was an 86-year-old woman who started just streaming on YouTube in her retirement, and she streamed a lot of Skyrim, and she loved Skyrim and said it was the best game, and she built up quite a following. Quite a few people watched her streams. They loved her. She was a cute old lady, and when she passed away, she wrote in her will that she'd love to be a character in one of the Elder Scrolls games. So the only confirmed character in Elder Scrolls 6 is Skyrim Grandma.
Nice. I did know about her, but I didn't realize she was the only confirmed character in Elder Scrolls 6. Now this question, there were a lot of different answers, and I just wanted you to try to name as many as you can think of.
Okay.
So name all, or as many as you can, I wrote in parentheses, characters appearing in both Red Dead Redemption games. And if Thermal here doesn't get all of them, and I say the ones left, and there are some you can think of that I've missed, feel free to comment that.
Alright, so John, Jack, Abigail,
Yep.
Dutch, Trelawney.
No.
Trelawney's in
Changing max.
Red Dead 2. He's in the
He's in Red Dead 2. But to my knowledge, he is not in Red Dead 1.
Okay.
I'm thinking of Nigel West Dickens.
Yeah, Nigel West Dickens.
He's also not
Irish.
No? I mean, unless that Easter egg is something.
What do you mean?
Didn't you say you found Irish in Red Dead 2?
Yeah, he was in. Well, I guess he was in online. So
Well, I'm
does that
counting
count?
Red Dead Online. I suppose
Well,
I should have said that.
That's disputed because I wasn't able to confirm that it was
Yeah.
him, but it looks just like him, and he's in the right place, and he was highlighted in gold, which is weird for an NPC.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's him. So that the two FBI agents.
One of them. Oh wait, yes, both of them.
Yeah,
Sorry,
in the
yes, you
cutscene.
are right. Yeah, only one of them's throughout the game.
Uncle.
Yep.
Hotel. Our apologies to Travago. And then I'm not gonna be able to get the others. So if
The
you want,
ones you missed that I also got were Bill Williamson, Javier Escuela, Bonnie McFarlane online, Herbert Moon, who is the general store owner in Armadillo, who was such a meme that they brought him back when you go there as John.
the really racist, sexist guy.
Yes, the awful guy. And Rufus, who is the Marston's dog.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So in a similar vein, so there are only 4 games that have ever received the dreaded AO, or Adults Only rating by the ESRB, meaning they cannot be sold online because there's no age verification. And most retailers, like GameStop, Best Buy, Target, those people, they refuse to stock AO games. So if a game is AO, it's death knell because very few people will sell it. There have only been 4 ever that have been given that sort of rating. Name one of them.
Okay. I would like to request that I have a few guesses.
Yeah, please.
I'm going to assume that it's a relatively new rating. So super old school stuff, because there is stuff that a lot of people online like to point out as like the most awful video games ever, like Custer's Revenge. If you've heard of that, I'm assuming that wouldn't have gotten it.
No,
Really based on
but
it probably was
it's not
I have
all that old.
Yeah.
Like, for
I
example,
have 2 guesses.
just to give you a help on the timeline.
Okay.
And this might get rid of one of your guesses. So, that game Postal and Postal 2,
Yes.
both of which
That
are
was
pretty old,
one of
don't
my
play
guesses.
them.
Okay.
To all our viewers, don't play Postal. We are not endorsing it. We're not doing it. Postal's pretty.
Okay.
1, it's an awful game, and 2, it's horribly, horribly fun.
Yes.
That game was unrated because they didn't want an
Yes.
AO rating,
I see.
and because the ESRB refused to give them any other rating, so it
so
was
I
just
meant-
unrated.
I imagine there's quite a bit of that actually, with a lot of games. Maybe not some as well known as others. My guess, which now that you say that is probably fairly similar, is Manhunt.
Friendly cluster strike inbound.
Yes, I will accept that just because this was a very difficult thing. So it was Manhunt and Manhunt 2, both of which were given Manhunt the original was first classified as AO and then changed to unrated, whereas Manhunt 2 was given an AO rating. The others are The Punisher, which was given AO rating for extreme violence, and Agony and Hatred, which were both given AO ratings because of depictions, because of genital physics, and because of pretty graphic depictions of sex.
Okay. Now for I guess kind of a soft side one. Which cast member has been on SNL the longest?
You took one of my questions.
Really?
Yes.
Then I'm sure you could tell me
It
the
is.
answer as well as how
Kenan
long.
Thompson!
And how long has
He's
he
been on since 2003!
Yes.
My question was, how long has Kenan Thompson been on SNL?
17 years.
Yes. That's a pretty softball one. Who was considered for the role of the Terminator before being rejected as someone who just didn't look like they could be a killer?
O.J. Simpson.
That is true. Look it up.
Yes. Okay. Now this is my one cabinet positions question. Who, at the time of his appointment, was first the youngest Secretary of Defense, and then later the second oldest Secretary of Defense?
Rumsfeld.
Yes. He was Secretary of Defense in the 70s under George W. Bush.
Enemy cluster strike incoming. Take cover.
That's okay. So I'm going to give you a list of things. Tell me which of these things are not referenced in Fallout New Vegas.
Ooh. Okay.
1984, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, Watchmen, the comic book, Planet of the Apes, NYPD Blue, or Jack Kerouac.
Well, I was gonna say, at this point, basically none of those I can think of references to New Vegas, but I'm going to go with Anchorman.
I'm sorry, it was Jack Kerouac.
Oh.
So,
Figured
there's
Blue would
a-
be something.
1984, in the expansion Old World Blues, the book shoot will be like, oh, if you know too much bad information, we're gonna have to put like a rat on your face, which is reference to 1984. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, the Mr. New Vegas will say, stay classy, New Vegas, on the radio.
Okay, how did I miss that?
Watchmen there's a character's name. I don't remember the exact character, but there's a character's name that's referenced. Planet of the Apes, there's a something. In addition to like just kind of the setting in general, there's a couple specific references. I'm not remembering in a minute. If you know these references, please comment because my brain is failing me at the moment. NYPD Blue, you have again someone's name, and then Jack Kerouac was not in it.
I see. So, this is a question that was suggested to me by someone else. It's kind of a you know it or you don't sort of thing. But who played Lisa's substitute teacher in The Simpsons? Famous episode.
John Lennon, right? Or Paul
No.
McCartney?
No. Paul McCartney famously went on The Simpsons as himself in Lisa the Vegetarian. He was to be vegetarian.
Oh, okay.
Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Bill Hader, one of your favorite people, has done voice work in 2 different video games. What are they?
Video games.
Yes. Both somewhat unexpected.
Yeah, then I'm not gonna get them. And I was like reading his Wikipedia page or something the other day. Something that was listing a bunch of his roles. I think there were video game ones in there, but I can't remember what they were.
So he voices 2 minor characters. In both times, it's minor characters.
Yeah.
One of them is in South Park, The Stick of Truth, and the other is in Grand Theft Auto 4.
Oh.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
plays
that is interesting.
He plays an Irishman in that.
Huh. It's kind of odd. Okay, this is a great question. What was the board game Ben Wyatt of Parks and Rec fame created while he was unemployed and kind of going insane?
It was a clone of Settlers of Catan.
Yes, it was.
Something of Caledonia?
No.
Caledonia is a real place.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be shaming them like that. I don't know.
That's the Cones of Dunshire.
Cones of Dunshire. Damn
Now
it.
we're kind of running out of time here, so let's just try to quickly go through the rest, okay?
Sure.
Less commentary.
The famous Mike Myers mask from the Halloween movies is based on a mold of whose face?
William Shatner.
Yes.
What was the first Call of Duty game where you were able to play as a woman? I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That was Call of Duty World at War. Or World War II.
World War II. That would be very late. My answer is Black Ops 2, where you can play as Karma in one of the Strike Force missions.
Yes, that is correct. And then finally, who stabbed Leibniz?
I don't know, but I certainly know it wasn't Isaac Newton.
I'm pretty
much
sure
to
it
your
was Isaac
chagrin.
Newton. Anyway, we
I
are
have
just
2 more questions.
Well, we are just about out of time.
quickly ask. The next one is related to the last one.
All right, ask these questions.
What was the first Call of Duty game where you could play as a woman in multiplayer?
First Call of Duty game where you play as a woman in multiplayer? That would be it's one of the mobile ones, right?
That's not what I had. You might be right, but
What was
if
it?
is I had Ghosts. Well,
That's probably true.
that's about it.
All right,
I'd
well,
say.
like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for viewing, and we will see you in the next one.
Yep. Bye.